now I will go to Belgium to show you one very interesting museum. Most of items are original items in really nice and great conditions. The famous version of Otto Scarzeni is La Libération de Mussolini. This one is really rare. And this is uniform of Frank Quick, tank commander of 740th Tank Battalion. Something exposed not far from it. One German cross and more items related with SS troops. This is a very important sign, and it's stay here in a like a middle of the town, and this one is there in the middle of the building. Here we can see amazing display with MG42, and this display is really cool in details, because it looks impressive, but in details it looks perfect, because we can see soldier, German MG42 gunner, and he is wearing dot 44 camo, and we can see full camouflage on him. And this is MG42 machine gun, which named Hitler's soul. Look at that mount, special mount. It's an original yellow paint, and look at that canisters for barrels. This is an extra barrel for this machine gun, because it's shooting too fast, and you need a lot of extra barrels to keep it work. So this canister is yellow also. These wheels also yellow. This canister also yellow, and this is 2 magazines for MG belts, 50 round in each. Oh, look at that! This wheel, I don't know. Can you see it or not? This wheel damaged. We can see here bullet hole. Interesting. So about this one, and this one is also in yellow color, and this is rare, and not only canister, or not only this carrier in yellow, magazines yellow also too. This is a very interesting. Also too looks strange, sounds strange, but anyway, here we can see a special box for ammunition and for tools for MG, and here we can see Kraftstoff gasoline canister, and this is very interesting with SS runes. So I don't know any place with where you can find so many SS runes canisters. So, but anyway, why I paid attention on the yellow color? We can see that some field equipment also in yellow. For example, this shovel cover in yellow. This like a Pressstoff ersatz material. This one is also olive. This is MG pouch, and we can see the color on it. This is a late color for 1944, 1945 for late production. More items we can see here on this machine gunner. So this is a broad bag, and this is a really nice condition gas mask canister, and Y straps on the back in really good shape, and it also late material, late period production of field equipment, but it's very good, and it's a very interesting and popular term for collecting late period field equipment of German army. Here we can see a bunch of stuff with related SS, also Panzerfaust box, munition box for its elite for munition box, 120 millimeters mortar, and SS items, SS signed items. We can see here, for example, on this canister, on this backpack, and on the other things. For example, this helmet is also SS. More items we can just see here. This one is MP40 pouch, with leather lids, interesting detail. You can see binoculars in yellow. We can see gas mask canister. We can see pair of boots, and look at how worn is it, because it was really worn. This a piece of steel just almost disappeared. Some of them disappeared. Here we can see late production canteen cups. Here we can see belts with SS, with Luftwaffe. So it's very interesting display. And this is medical equipment. This small, just added on the display. I mean, just added maybe half hour ago, probably 1 hour ago, and this is a fresh news, like breaking news about it. It shows us German paratrooper Sanitäter, how to say it, nurse, and he worn German paratrooper medical backpack. I showed you the same one in Cine Militare show during I filmed video. I mentioned it, so you know how expensive is it. Correct gloves we can see here for Luftwaffe, and those patches show us that he is a nurse, he is a sanitar. How to say it correctly, Anna? Please correct me. And this display is very important because exactly in this place were hospital here between these two windows downstairs. You can see it, this red cross, and also Red Cross was here during the battle, during the December 1944. So that's why this medical equipment display is so big. And here we can see more backpacks with red crosses, and that's amazing. A lot of stuff, and I'd like it. I really love medicine equipment and medicine theme and Navy theme, so it's probably two of my most interested theme. But anyway, here we can see one more display with medics. This is carriers for wounded people. How to say it correctly? It's like two parts of them. This is German. It's like folded, and here a lot of medicine stuff we can see here, and also this small circle with red cross is from backpack for medics. So this display is also very interesting, and during the excavation on Eastern Front, sometimes you can find these tubes with plastic lids, because it's preserved very good in ground. So here we can see a few more very interesting items. This one is SS helmet, belongs to soldier who was a part of Camp Group Piper, and he was here in Legles also. This one is original motorcycle coat, and it shows how equipped German troops was in that time, because they received a lot of good supply and good clothes for the weather, for different weather, for cold, for windy, from Eastern Front. After their mistakes in Eastern Front in 1941, they change it and they create a lot of special uniform for different weather. And this one has been found here in Laglis, and this is very interesting because it's related with this museum and with this collection, because it's found just next door. This is also two items from this location, and it's very interesting to see the stuff that has been found in exactly that location, what museum talking about, you know what I mean, sorry. So here we can see another great location with a lot of vehicle parts. For example, here we can see parts of King Tiger 2 and this pair also from King Tiger, and I get this shell also from King Tiger because it's 88 millimeters with a big shell. And here we can see sign that those two parts from the tank 213 from Lagles. It's very interesting. Mortar here, mortar, how to pronounce it correctly, and two more SS man we can see here on this display, and some more munition and helmet on the ground. And look at that, it looks like it's wet ground, wet, dirty, and that's amazing how it looks like. Here we can see two sides of the battle, also two German uniform completes this officer, and this one is a smoke SS with SS belt, and three radio stations, and one King Tiger 334 in 1945 pictures. But here we can see a state of Lieutenant Colonel Rubel, commander of the 740th Tank Battalion in the Battle of the Bulge and against Kampfgruppe Piper. And it's also very interesting and very important to see. And look at that liner, with original emblem on it, 740, you can see on the top angle. And here is very impressive details. It shows us two soldiers, two SS-men who wants to open this door. Probably behind this door we can see American GI, because you can see here these cartridges from M1 Garand Z cartridges, which shown enemy when soldier have to reload it. And this soldier have Sturmgewehr, and this Sturmgewehr in good shape and with original belt, and he's ready for action in his original helmet with SS emblem. And this guy have Zeltbahn, and it worn like a poncho, and he have Gewehr with it's like rifle, K98 with a bayonet. So it's also a very interesting display, and it shows how close this combat was. So here we can see items related with mortar, 12 centimeters, and we can see this SS uniform. It's also in original condition, and it looks great. Two more Zeltbahns here, and with SS buckle with Adolf Hitler cuff title, and we can see the shell. We can see box for munition for the shells, and extra powder things. You know, you have to add it on a tail to send the shell further. So here we can see one more mortar, but mortar, how to pronounce it, and this one is American one, with American soldier, with a huge guy who just received here. And here we can see American medical department, US Army, with this wounded carrier. And here we can see a Mercury engine saw. This is, I guess, benzene saw, like benzene engine, and we can see it shows us that it is Mercury engine propeller. But anyway, this one looks really big and here it's probably like small guy tall, but here we can see bridge constructed by 3rd Platoon Co-E, a company, 3rd Platoon Company, 341st Engineer Regiment. So this sign probably was near any bridge that constructed by these troops, and it's very interesting when you see this probably original sign. I have to ask, and probably we can ask owner of the museum to show us and to make tour for us with items. If you elect about it, just let me know in comments. Here we can see one more SS item, and this is late war SS jacket without part of sleeve, and on this part of sleeve eagle fixed, and that's why they cut it down. But anyway, here I guess, I didn't ask, but I guess owner and director to put here another eagles with parts of sleeves, and here we can see eagle on the dot camouflage. Here we can see eagle on the like a wool, like that material. Here we can see Luftwaffe eagles also in material. This one is like a green smoke, which also really rare, and that's why he put several eagles with a part of uniform for to show that how looks uniform after that, probably because of, we can ask him. And here we can see P-38, one of most interesting war trophy for American GIs, and here we can see M40, probably Q, with a probably Bocher emblem. I have to see it closer, but anyway, this one is original helmet with SS emblem, and this is very interesting. Here we can see tank MG tank machine gun with radio, and this radio system found by René Maréchal in the Befehls Panther G number 159 of Sturmbannführer Werner Poczke, the commander of 1st Battalion SS Panzer Regiment number 1 of Kampfgruppe Piper at Vermont Farm, 1945. About this display we can guessing, because here is an American paratrooper, and this is a killed in action, probably machine gunner, and here is German medic. This machine gunner almost died, because we can see here a lot of blood, and I don't know who is captured here. So here we can see weapon. This is a MG34 on the mount, on the original mount, and here we can see K98 with SS helmet, and it looks like a moment of history in somewhere not far from here, and a lot of equipment also we can see here. This is display related with King Tiger also. We can see the model of it here, and look at this item, it's really very interesting also. This is a black tanker one, so this is a really cool, and this one is record 20 tons. It have to push up, you know what I mean. 2 shells, 2 different types, and 3 boxes for to carry it. So it's also very interesting. It's a really big, I mean really big stuff. Here in the end of the museum, almost in the end of the museum, we can see here more items. For example, this one is a Pioneer visor cap with a black piping with Pioneer equipment. For example, this one is for this, how to say it, like a cutter, and this one is camouflage for army, camouflage cover for helmets, for army helmets, and so we can see here one more smoke and a box for anti-tank mine. model 35, and this is a box for 2. It's like a carrier for 2 means also, or mines. And look at that. This is a display with American supply, with a menu, with dried whole eggs, with preserved butter, with US bread sack, return when empty, and with all stuff that has been brought for to feed American army, and a lot of items. We can see here how it looks like now, how it was that time. That's very interesting. And some of trademarks still producing their items. For example, Hershey, Pall Mall, and stuff like that. Also, American veteran items. We can see here this paratrooper stuff with paratrooper liner with this special emblem for Scream Eagles, and it's a 101 airborne. And also we can see here his awards and stuff like that. One more martyr with American soldier here, and one more display about SS. You can see SS display with uniform, with Adolf Hitler cuff titles, with awards, and with all this stuff, with Radom pistol, and with SS dagger, with original SS dagger, model 1933, with nickel-plated scabbard fittings, with aluminum eagle, so it's correct for period and in really good shape. That's really cool. Also, we can see here, I guess, nickel silver belt buckle, and also in great condition. One more helmet cover we can see here, also in good shape and in original condition. It's worn, but it's really cool. And probably we can ask owner and director of museum to tell a story about all these items. Most of them have stories and how it has been found, and that is very interesting to see, very interesting to know. Some of them I know, but I don't want to tell something wrong, so about the items, and don't want to, like mix in mind when items has been found, so we can see the owner. And if you want also, just elect for it in comments. Here we can see armored Willys, Jeep Willys, and which very interesting also, and very interesting display with this extra armor on it, and that looks amazing and huge. Here we can see one more display with paratroopers, with a big parachute on the back, and this is a paratrooper on a smoke, and these special paratrooper containers, because paratroopers have to jump without nothing, and it's a special container for to deliver items to paratroopers on the positions. So here we can see a lot of ammunition boxes with ammunition for MG34 or 42. So here we can see also paratrooper MP pouches, and for 8 pieces, one holster for flare pistol, couple M24 grenades, and one more paratrooper we can see here with rare stuff. This one is gas mask canister bag, special bag for paratroopers. This one is really rare and expensive item. Here we can see American GI's items, for example this Tommy gun, and it looks great and in amazing condition, with a helmet, with tanker helmet, with bazooka, and one more tanker guy we can see here also from that division, and few more. I'm trying to speak faster because museum already closed, so that's why I want to finish it faster. Here we can see Relic stuff for 2 Relic helmets. This one, look at that, Look at that helmet. It has been just washed with water, no any wrong stuff, and it has hole. It's probably bullet or splinter hole. And here we can see a lot of items from the ground, parts of equipment, parts of awards, parts of equipment, parts of uniform and stuff like that, shoulder boards, collar tabs, parts of smokes and liners. For example, this one from inside from the helmet, it's a liner chin straps, liner rings and stuff like that, and paratroopers identification tags and stuff like that, and it's also very interesting. This one for signal corps. This is a display for signal corps. You can see signal backpack with all stuff. We can see this stuff with wire, with cord, and here we can see carrier for something heavy. You can transport wounded somebody or heavy boxes, because during the winter you can carry it. It's like a, how to say, boat for boat for snow. One guy in a parka. This is a Wehrmacht one, and more Luftwaffe items. Luftwaffe daggers, second model, in good shape with gilded swastika on the pommel, and this one is really nice and Crete, and because first paratroopers jumped and they was in a Crete operation, so sometimes they worn it, and sometimes in Leningrad area on the paratroopers positions you can find coins from Greece and souvenirs from Crete also. So two very interesting camouflaged boxes for ammunition, and look at that pieces of leather. It's very important because most of them already lost, and if civilians used these boxes for their use, they mostly just lose it. But here it is, so it's very rare. Also, one more rare patch for 8 pieces, and very interesting display about Olympia 1936. And this is the end of the exhibition. This is the end of the museum, and look at that. This is original relic items which put on the piles, and we can see a lot of material, a lot of for example, M1 Garand stands, binoculars, items from the pockets and stuff like that, knives, pistols and stuff, mess kits, helmets, liners, and all this stuff has been brought here by American soldiers. This side we can see German mess kits, German stuff, German knives, and German relic stuff, with German weapon, and after that it became United States edged weapon and stuff from pockets and mess kits, grenades and stuff like that. So, and it's like a symbol because it was enemy sides and two sides of the conflict, but now it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's just layway here. I don't know how correct I said it, but I hope you understand what I meant. Here we can see more items, also relic and woodwork condition, and probably next time I can show you more items and closer, but today I have to leave because it's almost finished work, so that's was very interesting experience to show it to you. It was a very interesting experience and great practice for language for me. And let me say you a few words in the end of the video. And now we are in main office of the museum, and here is Bernard.
Right, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. And Bernard is director and owner of this museum. And if you have any questions, you can text comments, and I will ask Bernard about it, and then let you know. And now I would like to ask couple questions.
Yeah, no
After
problem.
that tour, you have amazing museum. I'm here second time. First time couple years ago. I was here and filmed video, and I was really enjoyed. It's really cool collection. And now I'm here twice for to show this museum to my English-speaking audience, and I surprised. It's a lot of new material came and displayed now. Can you tell us how long this museum works, and how did you start it? And is it all your collection, or?
Okay, yeah, from the starting point was in the 17, where Gérard Grégoire did the first exhibitions on the other side of the road here, and then it was mid of 80s that this part of the building was built, and the museum started in 1987.
Oh wow!
Okay, and
when I born.
right, and yeah, and the museum had already a big collection by several collectors who put their collections here inside the museum, and then the museum collection grows over the years, and then we had several new owners, and I'm new owner since 2019. And so to respond to your question, the building up of the and trying to have high quality of pieces here inside the museum is full of history and found mostly here in the Laglaise area or then the Ardennes. We are still active on the not only on the market or on the private side to try to continue to build up that collection.
Yeah, that's very cool, amazing work, and the result is wow. I hope our collectors who see it will text their feeling, because it's honestly one of most interesting museum on this theme in the world for me. And I will hear probably in June when it will be market here on this street, and probably can I ask you to make tour with some part of your...
Yeah, exactly. To your audience, there will be the big fair on June, 18th and 19th of June, the weekend of 18th and 19th of June. Of course, we will try to find a little bit time to go together to the museum and to figure out some items where we'll give you additional explanations.
That's great. Thank you very much. And I totally recommend this museum to attend if you go to Europe. And honestly, it's few museums around, and it looks like for a week you can do really nice museum tour one day in one museum, because it will be cool experience. And if you want, I can give you direction, and information about this museum will be under the video. Thank you very much for your museum.
See you in June.
Thank you. See you in June, and thank you, my audience, for watching this video until the end. Thank you for press like and subscribe. Also to support the channel, and see you next time. Oh, I hope you enjoyed.